The iPhone 16 has a ton of hidden features, including a number of things we've been asking Apple for years that they quietly added without anybody really noticing. So today I want to show you all the things you haven't seen about the iPhone 16 yet that actually make this more of an upgrade than I think people realize. In fact, I guarantee there's at least one thing in this video that you have not seen anywhere else. So let's jump into the secret display changes first. The iPhone 16 screens can now get dimmer than any iPhones before them. That's because all iPhone 16 models can now go down to just 1 nit of brightness, which is practically nothing compared to last year's iPhone 15 Pro could only go down to about 10 nits of brightness. And these dimmer displays are available across the entire iPhone 16 lineup. It's not just the Pros, and if you are somebody who lays in bed late at night using your phone, it makes that experience so much more enjoyable. Next, Apple talked a lot about improving battery life on the iPhone 16, but they didn't mention what I think is actually the biggest change for battery, and that's that the entire iPhone 16 lineup charges significantly faster than previous iPhones. So when you do run out of power, you don't have to wait as long for your phone to get charged up. Previous iPhones were only rated for a 30-watt charging capacity, which compared to a lot of other phones in the market was pretty slow. So this year, Apple has upgraded the iPhone 16 lineup to 45 watts, which is a 50% improvement. And if you like to charge via MagSafe, they've also increased the MagSafe charging speed up from 15 watts previously to 25 now. So across the board, your iPhone 16 will charge noticeably faster than before. And if you do buy an iPhone 16 Pro, there's actually a hidden change on the inside of these phones. Because on their most expensive models, Apple has significantly upgraded the battery with a new stainless steel housing, which has allowed them to achieve two things. First, an actually increase in battery capacity because they're using a new technology inside. And second, improved heat management. So the iPhone 16 Pro should run cooler than previous phones that Apple has made too. And speaking of faster MagSafe, I want to show you some dope new MagSafe accessories from ESR who actually sponsored today's video. First up, ESR's Qi 2 MagSafe battery pack is ultra compact and slim at just 15.5 millimeters thick. It gives you cool charging thanks to their ESR NTC sensors and AI that keeps the temperature below 100 degrees. With the 15 watts of Qi 2 MagSafe charging, it can get an iPhone 15 Pro to 84% in only 2 hours and 25 minutes, and there's an awesome kickstand too to prop up your phone wherever you're sitting. Next, for more stationary charging is ESR's 3-in-1 MagSafe charger with Qi 2 and CryoBoost. This will fully charge an iPhone 15 Pro Max in only 2 hours, and ESR's patented CryoBoost cooling technology keeps your phone cool for faster charging. It'll get an Apple Watch Series 9 to 75% charge in 70 minutes, which is 50 minutes faster than other non-Apple certified brands. The whole setup is almost as fast as Apple's MagSafe chargers, but cheaper. And for when you're in the car, ESR also has a MagSafe car charger that supports the super fast Qi 2 15-watt charging, which is great when you're on the go. And right now, you can grab these products for yourself when you use my link down below in the description. A huge thank you to ESR for sponsoring this one. Now, let's get back to it. Now, on the side of the iPhone 16, of course, is the new camera control button. This is essentially the flagship upgrade for this year, but there's so much you can do with this that Apple didn't mention. Like first, the ability to remap it to other camera apps. You could do something like Instagram or Snapchat or my favorite third-party camera app, Halide, which allows much more manual control over your photos. Basically allowing you for the first time on the iPhone to replace your default camera, which is pretty cool. Some of these apps in the future will even be updated to support exclusive features with the camera button, but those updates haven't rolled out just yet. Second, you can also change some settings for the camera control button. Like if you go into accessibility inside of the settings app, you can adjust the severity of how hard you have to press the button for it to actually be enabled, which could be helpful if you found yourself accidentally pressing it in situations where you didn't want to. Or third, maybe you just don't like the camera control at all and you want to get rid of it. Well, in settings, Apple has actually allowed you to do this, completely disabling the button in its entirety, and it almost becomes as if it actually isn't there anymore. Because it no longer works across any app, it won't activate the camera, it does not allow you to use it as a shutter button, it is genuinely just like you removed the button from your phone by turning it off. Pretty shocked that Apple would allow you to do that with the big new feature for this year. Just in general, camera control feels like a really pro feature that Apple added to the regular models too, including now that the regular models can shoot macro photography, which has long been exclusive to the most expensive iPhones. This means that when you get really close to something, the regular iPhones iPhones can now capture a ridiculous amount of detail, giving you access to photos that you could previously only get on the Pro phones. And considering that this is my favorite iPhone camera feature, I love that it's now available for everybody. Of course, though, on the Pros, there are some more exclusive camera features, like the ability to shoot 4K video at 120 frames per second. And on the iPhone 16 Pros, there's a way to adjust the speed directly in the Photos app, as on these phones you have access to an exclusive speed section where you can on the fly adjust exactly what playback you want these slow-mo videos to be at, which is pretty dope that you don't have to use video editing software and you can just change that directly on your iPhone. Following that, the cameras on the iPhone 16s are of course better this year, but my favorite feature in using them has actually been the new suite of audio features, and specifically the audio mix option. This allows you to make your audio sound significantly better as if it was recorded in a more controlled environment, and while it initially seemed like these were only coming to the Pros, it's actually available on the iPhone 16 regular models too. For example, I'm in a room with a lot of echo right now, which you can hear in the recording, but as soon as I switch over to the studio audio mix mode, almost all of that goes away and my voice sounds way better than it did before. Essentially, because of the A18 chip across all models, it seems like Apple was able to bring audio mix to every iPhone 16, so even if you're just shooting some fun video on the base models, you can make them sound significantly better with this Pro feature. But that's not the only audio change I've noticed on the iPhone 16, as specifically on the Pros, Apple has changed the speakers just a little bit this year. After quite a bit of listening, the iPhone 16 Pro's speakers sound a bit warmer and more balanced than before, essentially giving you slightly better audio quality on these new phones versus the older ones. Now, by no means is this a night or day change, but considering that Apple also added 4 microphones on the iPhone 16 Pros this year, it really does feel like audio is the true secret upgrade across the line. Next up, Apple made the Wi-Fi on all iPhone 16s a lot better this year, as surprisingly they added the latest Wi-Fi 7 standard across the entire lineup. Wi-Fi 7 supports faster speeds and lower latency, and on your network it can handle more devices at the same time. So while not a lot of Wi-Fi routers today have Wi-Fi 7, the next time you upgrade your home internet, it's likely that the iPhone 16 that you already have will be able to take advantage of it even if you don't have it right now. So it's cool that Apple is essentially future-proofing these phones by adding the latest standard, even though it's not readily available yet. And while Wi-Fi got faster on all models, if you have an iPhone 16 Pro, 5G got a huge boost here too. According to one source, SpeedSmart, the iPhone 16 Pro supports up to 26% faster download speeds. And while this does vary pretty significantly depending on your carrier, at least in the United States, the promise of real 5G on the iPhone seems to finally be coming true, as these 5G download speeds we're seeing on the 16 Pros are significantly better than what we were first seeing when 5G came to the iPhone 4 years ago. Unfortunately though, that last change is only on the Pro models, so you'll still have some slower 5G speeds on the standard iPhone 16. Okay, those are my favorite hidden features and changes on the iPhone 16s, and I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. I've been Sam, hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.